as I said, here now we've got the 1 cup of ground almonds. That goes into where the seed mix is. So if I didn't say, if I didn't say so before, I'll say so now. As we're making an anti-inflammatory scones, but we've got a slight twist to the recipe this today. So we're going to be making a cacao, organic cacao, and black cherry scone with some flame sultanas in there. So it's going to be, and we're also going to fling in some chocolate bits as well. So it's going to be really tasty, nice, but it's also going to be healthy because once again there's no white flour in there, so reduction on the starches. Seeds are all proteins, so I think there is some carbohydrate factor to it, but yeah. So I'm just going to stir this in, and in fact I'm not going to do that just yet. What am I saying? Do you know what, I really need to get this sorted out because I need to find a way to be able to record and bake at the same time. Honestly, Sharon. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is get the rest of the dry ingredients together, which is a pinch of salt, 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and some nutmeg to taste. So I'm going to just pause this to get all the ingredients together. I don't think you need to see it. All right. I should add as well, I've just included 3 tablespoons of unrefined sugar. So even though it's sugar, yes, it's a carbohydrate, but even though it's a sugar, it's unrefined. So yes, it's a bit in terms of, it's not really that healthy, but it's better than, you know, just in fact I don't like using sweetness. That's why I thought let me just use an unrefined sugar. So let's see if you can see this now. I'm going to be weighing out the cacao. I'm putting all the dry ingredients in here. I don't know if it's going to work out. Sorry, forgive my fingers. So, I'm putting the cacao in there. And I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of cacao in there. So, great feeling, isn't it? 2 tablespoons of cacao. You can hear it. There you go. That's the 2 tablespoons in there. Proof and evidence. Right. There you go, it's in there. So next twist on it is, let me show you my messy kitchen. I'm cooking what's it called? Quinoa. So savoury quinoa. So let me now show you. I'm gonna grate some nutmeg in there. Yeah. So dear. I might have to do this video another day, you know, because this is coming like the last ones. But let's see if it helps. Hold on. So, you won't see it, but you'll hear it. Grating the nutmeg. And I say nutmeg to taste, but I think that I love nutmeg, so I've put in quite a bit, as you see. I'll grate this for about 20 seconds. You've got a mini grater. With these, they're really helpful. So as I say, I grate a bit of thing in there, a bit of nutmeg in there, quite a bit actually. Mind your nails, Sharon. And that should be enough. So I'll show you what it is. Tap that out. So there's a nutmeg in there too. You can see it's quite a bit in there. So there's a nutmeg. See, I've added the sugar. So now I'm going to add the baking powder. Baking powder. So it's 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Sorry, let me see if I can get you a nice. I'm trying not to get me in there because I'm not really video ready. You get what I mean. So let me put the baking powder in. So this is like typical me style. The remnants of the last one. Oh, what's that? We've got the new one here. I'm going to put in 2 teaspoons in. 2 teaspoons. 1, 2 of baking powder. And give it a little bit of lift. A little bit of lift. There you go. There you go. And then, let me see. And that's it. So that's all the dry ingredients in there. Now I'm going to give it a blast. Mix it. I'll take it off video because you don't want to hear that. You've heard it already. You don't need to punish it twice. So let's go. Give it a quick mix, and I'll come back with the butter and the cream and the wet ingredients. All right then. See you on the other side. So I've just paused the recording again because I forgot an ingredient. Because you know what, I've got the recipe written down. I wrote it down as I came up with it. But I didn't do it. No, I didn't. No, I did, but I forgot it. I just forgot it. Desiccated coconut. Good. No, desiccated coconut. So 1/2 cup of desiccated coconut. Yeah. There we go. People, my lovely listeners and lovely viewers. So I hope you try this out, you know. Hope you do, because it's well worth it. You know, I can eat this and I lose weight, as I always say, even though I haven't lost any weight overall. But I do eat it and I do lose weight. So anyway, back to the mix. So for the sugar, as I said, I put in 3 tablespoons. Each tablespoon is 15 grams. So that's 45 grams of sugar if you want to weigh it out. Now this is butter. I'm going to add the butter, and I'm going to add 70 grams of butter. So there we go. Come on. 70 grams of butter. If it's 72, don't worry about it. If it goes a bit over, yeah. If it's you don't put enough, and it'll be a bit dry. So let's have a look. I bet this is over. You see, I'm trying to do it with my hand, one hand. So sorry, people. Let's have a look. 84, that's a bit much. 71. That is 70 would be perfect. 71 is good enough. Right. Then after you've done that, cut it into little blocks, put it into little chunks. Cut it into chunks and then add it to the recipe. So I'm going to put you on pause again while I cut it into chunks, because I haven't got a tripod. But I do have a tripod, but I'm not using a tripod. So anyway, see you soon. So we've cut the butter into chunks now. I'm going to add it to the recipe. So I've blended in all of the coconut. And now it's time to add that. So just bring all the ingredients down. And then add the butter. So now add the butter. I'm going to put it on pause again. There's the butter. I'm going to add it. I've added the butter. Now I'm going to mix it. Right, it's mixed now. So now I'm going to add my wet ingredients. I'm going to start off with 3 eggs. 4 tablespoons of double cream, and some almond or vanilla essence. I haven't decided yet, but almond and vanilla essence. So I'm going to just get them together, sort them out, and I'll come back to you again. And what I found is that you get a better rise. So there's my 3 eggs, but you get a better rise if you whisk your eggs first before you add the other ingredients, because it aerates the batter better. I'm just going to add the mix these. Right, so I've added the 3 tablespoons of cream and my almond essence to my eggs. Now, word to the wise, it's supposed to be double cream. I've used extra thick because actually this is the cream for my strawberries and cream. But it's supposed to be just a liquid double cream, that's fine. So, yeah, so just mix it. I'm going to come off again. Just mix it and then add it to your dry mixture. So I'm going to come back to you again with this. Alright, see you. So I'm adding it now to the dry mixture. So as you can see, it's quite moist. As you can see now. As you can see, it's quite moist. And it needs to be, because you don't want dry buns. So I'm going to add this mix now. As I said, it's got my eggs in there, 3 eggs. 3 tablespoons of double cream, and then almond essence is in there. Just pour it all in. That's poured in now, and once it's in, just add the lid and you get it mixed. Sorry, I have to go hands-free again. Get it mixed. Right, that's mixed. Now we're going to prepare. Now we're going to prepare the black cherries and the flame sultanas. So the flame sultanas, you just need half a cup of flame sultanas. So I'm going to pour that in. Half a cup of flame sultanas. They're so lovely and juicy. I used to use some raisins before, I think it was. Yeah, I used to use raisins before, but these are so much juicier. Yeah, and now we're going to add 1 cup of pitted sweet cherries. Now these are frozen. I had them frozen. So let me just weigh these out. I'm going to put you on pause again. So this is your 1 cup of frozen cherries. And sultanas are in there. Half a cup of sultanas are already in there. So what I do with the frozen cherries now is I then start to, not good. Then what I do now, put this aside, and then just chop them. So get one. They're still frozen, but you can still chop them. You need 2 hands already, but look, they're still chopped. And what I do, chop them in half. So just until you want bite size really. So they're quite big. So like that, just chop them like that and then add them to the mix. So I'm going to just do that now. Right, so here are the chopped frozen cherries. So I'm going to just add them to the mix. And you know, they're so lovely when you bite into them and it's cooked. It really is, it's such a pleasure. So I'm going to just add these. Right, excuse me. Then last but not least, I've got my dark chocolate chips. I got these from Tesco. So this is a half a cup measure. I'm not going to use a full half cup because it's a bit much for you. You don't need that much. I've got cacao in there. But these just melt in and just give it a nice, it's just nice. So I'm putting that 1/4 cup. Add them. Right, okay. And then mix. And that is all the ingredients that we need. Yeah? They're all the ingredients that we need. I can't pick up one. Right. Mix that again. And then it's good for the oven. Right. So add that. What's going on here? Right. So that is ready, it's good to go. I'm just going to line out the baking tray, and I'm using the same butter that I used to weigh out, no, the same paper that I used to weigh out the butter. So just there, that's a quick one for you. Right, so I'm going to just oil this and then add the mixture. And it's going for the oven, it's ready for the oven. Let me show you. There you go, I've lined it. Now I haven't lined it properly because, to be honest, can't be bothered, can't be asked, it's enough. It won't stick, it should be good enough. All right, that'll do. Yeah, this is I'm not a content creator, I'm a person that makes content. Yeah, so there you go. Right, now to add my mix to here. When you see the finished product, you'll be like, oh, nice. So anyway, I'm going to add it and then I'm going to add it to the oven. Right, hold your horses. Or as my mum would say, stick a pin. So this is a mixture. You can see the texture. Yeah, it's very smooth. It's a batter rather than, it's a batter. Yeah, rather than the cake mix. Right, so there we are. It's ready for the oven. Looks like it's been in now to a degree. So that goes in on the oven. I've got a gas cooker. So it's a medium heat. And yeah, until medium heat. And then when it smells like it's done, yeah, that's when it usually is. So keep not an eye out for the smell, but a nose out for the smell. And then just, obviously, you test it with a knife. But I put it on the middle shelf, so it cooks slow. So it's a medium heat, slowly cooked as well. Because it's a batter, so I don't want it to burn. If you remember the previous versions, I used to regularly burn them. But now I've learned how not to burn them. I just put on a lower heat. So there we are, and I'll see you back at the end of this with the finished version. I'm going to end this video now, so the finished version will be a photograph. But yeah, thank you for being patient with me. And hopefully yours turns out great as well. Hopefully this one turns out great. Thank you now. Bye.